And a pleasant good evening to you and yours, and welcome to the Brevard Sports Network. Alan Slaughterzinski with you here live from Khalil Mack Field where, we're going to play a little football tonight. We're going to do it in the mud, and we're going to have fun doing it. Last time these two teams got together, let's just say it was an exciting affair, a game of big plays. Not so sure you're going to see that tonight, and as the highlights on your screen will dictate, the long pass play was definitely in order. There you're going to see Antoine Edgecombe hitting Cam Webb. That is to put the Bengals up 14-0 in that game. But the Pompano Beach Outlaws would not go quietly. In fact, they would actually come back to take a 16-14 lead before the Fort Pierce Bengals would go up 22-16 and then eventually go on to win the football game 29-22. It's been an exciting week of preparation for the Fort Pierce Bengals. In fact, they even made the local news.
Okay, check this video out here. The Fort Pierce Bengals dislodged an ambulance that was stuck in a ditch and carrying a teammate back in April. Now, they're looking at a different type of push, a playoff push. The Bengals host the Outlaws at 6 p.m. at Khalil Mack Field for the first round of the Fcfl playoffs this weekend. The Bengals are 5-4 on the year, looking to continue their journey to possibly their first ever championship. When they helped out the community pushing out that ambulance, they did it on their own volition, and now they're looking for some help in the form of support on Saturday.
So financially, we have to pay for everything. We have to pay for the field, the police, the referees, the buses to away games. So the money we make at the gate helps us. So the more people that come.
All right, whistle blows, and we're ready for kickoff. We'll play Big Meats later. Ball fielded at the 30. Taken out to near midfield. This is round one of the Fcfl playoffs here on the Brevard Sports Network as Antoine Edgecombe and this Fort Pierce Bengal offense takes the field. Last time, Edgecombe wasted no time, and I mean no time, finding the end zone. And tonight's first quarter is brought to you by Pool Boy Mafia. Hashtag pool. You see it on the bottom of your screen there. And, of course, give them a call at the number located on the bottom, 386-523-8162. Your guess is as good as mine as to what the field conditions are. I do see standing water on it. Edgecombe from the gun. Storches Smith to his left. 3 wide receivers set here in the slot. 1 wide receiver split wide right. Turns, gives Smith up the middle. Choppy footing, but he holds on as that's a gain of 5. 2nd and 5 for Fort Pierce. I tell you what, 25 minutes ago, if this were a regular season game, I seriously doubt this thing would be played at the moment. Call it 2nd and 6, 6.5, a long 7. Smith and Edgecombe again, same set, 3 to the near side, 1 split wide right. Play action. Edgecombe goes deep down the field. Nice track, and they're going to throw the flag and call pass interference. That's a good call. He tackled him while the ball was in the air. Yeah, every flag. If you hear me say there's a flag down, hit it. And that's going to put Fort Pierce 1st and 10 inside the Pool Boy Mafia red zone. And that play worked for a touchdown, not once but twice, the last time these two teams got together a couple of weeks ago. And right now it looks as though, at least here in the early going, it could potentially set up another one. Storm clouds still in the air here at Khalil Mack Field. And it'll be 1st and 10, playing NFL rules, 15-minute quarters, which means a pass interference penalty is a spot foul. And they're going to spot the ball at the 22, so not quite inside the Pool Boy Mafia red zone, or is it? I don't know. That's the longest chain I think I have ever seen. Actually, it's inside, so it's 1st and goal to go now. The ball spotted at the 7-yard line for Fort Pierce. And Edgecombe now with an I formation. And Smith, the deep back, the fullback, the only guy that doesn't have his jersey outlined in white, so I can't see it, the number. But if I remember, I believe that's DeQuan Harris. So far, footing not an issue. 13:32 to go here in the opening quarter. Wind blowing straight at the goalpost. You see the flag there. Fcfl round 1 playoff action from Khalil Mack Field. Khalil might have to reach deep down and put some new turf in here after this one. I'm not sure what the holdup is. I rarely ever am. Not sure. And again, I'm not sure what they're talking about here. Might be talking about the spot of the ball. If you're a Bengals fan, you're perfectly fine with it. And Big Meech makes his way out onto the field. Bengals in their black jerseys tonight with those white Tiger helmets. Love those helmets. And Pompano Beach in some sort of tie-dye jersey. I like the color combination. All right. Again, I don't know what the holdup is, and I'm going to take that clock off the scoreboard there just as soon as we get a break in the action because I don't keep the clock on this feed here. We just tell you what the time is, so I apologize for the zeros up there. But we're going to get going here, and it's going to be 1st and goal from the 7. Edgecombe with Harris and Smith behind. Bunch formation. He gives it the big guy. He carries everybody in for a Fort Pierce Bengal touchdown. And they do the playoff dance. So a pass interference penalty sets up a 7-yard run. I want to make sure I got the guy right. Torrey Howard is who it is. My apologies. Torrey Howard on the touchdown. So it's 6-0 pending the extra point. And Fort Pierce has come to play a little football tonight. That drive took all of 1 minute and 28 seconds. And looks like they're going to kick an extra point. I know Big Michael James is on. Yep, there's the tee. So let's back up a little bit here. Last time these two teams played, Pompano Beach converted 3 2-point conversions. 6-0. James with the extra point. And we've got flags, and that can only mean a delay of game on the extra point attempt. So they're going to back him up 5 more yards, but James has got the wind firmly at his back. It is blowing. First quarter, we started late due to weather. This was the opening drive, so quarter is accurate up on the scoreboard. 6-0. The score, Torrey Howard, 7-yard touchdown run following a 55-yard pass interference penalty. He might get in. He does. And a busted play on the kickoff, or I'm sorry, check that, on the extra point, leads to a 2-point conversion, and it's 8-0 Bengals. So 8-0 here, right out of the gate for the Fort Pierce Bengals. And just as they did in the first meeting between these two teams, they have jumped out on top early. And again, I can't get the clock off the board. I'll figure it out. 13-22, first quarter just underway here, as James will get set to kick it off. Oh, it's an onside kick, but it ain't going to go 10 yards. He topped it too much. I like the idea, just not the execution. And they'll back him up to the 30, and James will kick off from here. And I would imagine he'll try with the element of surprise. Clearly gone. He may just now boot this back as far as he can. Back deep is Victor Jones and I believe Ashton Daniels. And James comes up, and he just absolutely crushes that one and out of bounds. So it'll be 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line now, or 40. With 13:15 to go, and the Bengals already on top, 8-0. Now, the last time these two teams got together, the issue, like, as I said, it was the big play, the absolute big play. Both teams executed it, and turnovers. And we had somewhat of a dry field that night. That game took place just a couple of weeks ago right here at Khalil Mack Field. 1st and 10 at the 40. Say hello to everybody watching here tonight. Felix Roberts, Carolyn Law, welcome. Good to have you aboard here on Brevard Sports Network. And the quarterback presented a lot of issues. First and 10 from the 40. For Darius Johnson. Johnson with two backs in the backfield. That's going to be a false start. They're going to back him up 5 yards here. And it'll be 1st and 15. Johnson's got Chestnut St. Mulis back there with him, number 7. Checking in here, number 8 and number 12. I don't have a number 8, but number 12 is Chris Ridgway. Quite a few players on the IR for Pompano Beach. We went through that in the last game. So it's 1st and 15 now. Man in motion. And he's in all kinds of trouble. And down goes Johnson as a whole host of Bengals get in there. And it'll be 2nd and a trip back to Pompano Beach for a 1st down. First on the scene that time, Mr. Kendrick Gaskin. Isn't he always? Gaskin comes off of that edge, and once he seals it, the fate of the quarterback is as well. 2nd and 22 now. 12-10 to play in the first. Bad snap picked up by one of the running backs, and big man up front, Willie Boston, the DT, with the stop, and it'll be 3rd down after a loss of another yard or 2. And let's just say Pompano Beach has got a ways to go. If you can't see the first down in your picture, then it's a ways to go. Timeout on the field. And with the timeout, want to thank Big Meech for a great season this year. And if you happen to check out the Facebook page this week, dedicating the game tonight to that gentleman right there, Ronnie Head Jones, on your screen. Passed away back in October of 2021, so wanted to pay homage to Ronnie. All right, here we go. Here comes Pompano Beach. Now, they worked themselves out of quite a few 3rd and longs in that last game. I'll tell you what, Darius Johnson, he's a big play type of quarterback. He can make them. But the issue tonight is going to be footing. And if any more rain comes, he's got speed for days, moves for days. So Fort Pierce has got to be wary of that. But again, that field out there may hamper his ability to do some of the things he does really, really well. 3rd, about 28, maybe even 30. Jones back to throw, looking, scrambles out of it, and he's got all kinds of daylight here, but not enough, or maybe he does. Nope, he's going to be brought down. He does. My goodness gracious. He's got a 1st down. Holy cow. Just told you he could do it, and it doesn't appear as though the footing. No, I'm sorry. He's way short. Okay, he's 8 yards short. I missed the other 1st down marker. My apologies. But still, he puts it in a 4th and 7 situation after picking up 28 yards. It was 4th and 35. So Jones picks up 28, and he did this all night long to Fort Pierce the last time. And we were just talking about how Gaskin can get in there and seal the edge. Well, when he does, he needs help on that inside. And didn't get it that time. And it'll be 4th down in Pompano Beach. I don't remember very many punts from them in the last game. They break the huddle. 3 wide receivers set, 2 backs in the backfield. This could be a huge stop for Fort Pierce. Darius looks to throw. In trouble again. In trouble looking. Sees the seal, and he's not going to go any. He is stuck hard on the far side of the field. Big time play. Who was that, 12? Rodney Matthew come up and stuck him to stop him short. Change of possession. Stop it. No. You keep running it. Change of possession. Right. I'm sorry. Yeah, stop it. Yep. Yeah, change of possession. Yeah, you always stop it. I'm sorry. I thought it was 4th down. My bad. Big time play by Rodney Matthew. And it's 1st and 10 with excellent field position at the Pompano Beach 45. Remember in that last game, the Bengals won up 14-0 in that one. And Pompano came back, so we'll see if lesson learned. 1st and 10 now. Edgecombe under center. Howard up back. The give is to Storch Smith, and he'll be stopped for a 1-yard loss, and it'll be 2nd down and 11. Once again, we want to thank Pool Boy Mafia. Hashtag Pool Boy Mafia, 386-523-8162. Pool Boy Mafia. If it's a pool, indoors, outdoors, you got any issues, you need one built, Pool Boy Mafia. You need one fixed, Pool Boy Mafia. 2nd and 11 coming up for Antoine. And this Bengals offense, sort of an H-back formation here. Edgecombe loses the ball, and it's out and still out and still out, and it's recovered by Pompano Beach. And this has been a key issue that has plagued the Fort Pierce Bengals all year is turnovers, and I didn't think tonight would be any different, especially given the weather conditions. The first turnover of the night goes back to the Outlaws, and coming in to take over will be Darius Johnson. And it's as though they picked up the first down. 9:02 to play. Clock stopped on the change of possession, and Jones and the Outlaw offense will take over. Johnson and the Outlaw offense will take over 1st and 10 at the 46. Torrey Howard with the lone touchdown, and this one a 7-yard run following a 53-yard pass interference call. And now Pompano Beach will take over 1st and 10 at the Bengal 46. 9:02 to go in the first quarter. Late start here. Late start due to late arrival of Pompano Beach and the weather. And he gets out of it again. He looks to do something. Flags fly. And I think the thing that Darius doesn't do sometimes is you either got to get rid of the ball or head off down the field, because it is impossible to ask your offensive lineman to block that long without holding, and that's exactly what we have here. We got to hold, and now it'll be 1st and 19. So while he is outstanding at extending plays, when a quarterback does that, and you see great ones like Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen, all the great ones that know how to do that, you got to make up your mind quick what you're going to do. If you're either going to get rid of the football or you're going to get down the field, because you just can't ask the big guys up front to hold their blocks that long. Because eventually, as an offensive lineman, you've got to either tackle the defensive lineman or flat out hold him to keep him from killing your quarterback. So 8:49 to play, and it'd be 1st and spot foul on the hold, so it's about 1st and 21 here. There is a method to the madness with getting out of the pocket. 3 wide receivers near side here. Johnson in a first down hole. The Outlaws have played from behind the sticks thus far in their 2 possessions. And Johnson back, looks, gets rid of it nicely that time, but skips it to his intended wide receiver, Victor Jones, and that'll bring up 2nd and 21. Travis, they scored. Fort Pierce got a 53-yard pass interference, and then Torrey Howard punched it in from 8 yards, about 7 yards out. 2nd and 21. And you ain't as late as you think you are. Johnson again, nice block thrown by the running back, and this time Johnson makes the wise decision and springs himself early, cuts all the way back. We got flags way back here in the back. And I think that's going to be a dead play because it's a delay of game. And you see the officials converging. The back judge threw the flag for a delay of game, so it should not be a play. He blew the whistle. I did hear the whistle before the ball was snapped. As Bird says no play, you can just kind of see him waving his arms slightly there back and forth. And he's explaining it to Pompano Beach, who isn't going to be happy about it. Because if it's against you, you never hear the whistle. Well, maybe that's not. Okay, they let the play stand. Pick it up. All right, they wave it off, pick it up. Okay. But he definitely signaled delay a game. So 2nd and 4 now. Nice play then by Darius Johnson on a scramble of 16, 17 yards, 4 yards to go. Should be 3rd down. Doesn't matter now because the Bengals are offside, so it'll be 1st down and 10. And the ball is nearly back where they recovered the fumble. And it's 1st and 10 at the 34-yard line. You're welcome, Travis. You're welcome. Good to have you with us tonight. So 1st and 10 now at the 34. And Johnson and the Outlaws, they stop shooting themselves in the foot. Looks to throw, does, and short hops it to the intended wide receiver, Victor Jones again, and it'll bring up 2nd and 10, 8:18 to play. This is not what I expected with the field conditions, but I'll tell you what, aside from the sidelines, the field seems to have dried out quite nicely. Because if you see the live video I shot about 20 minutes before kickoff, damn near this whole field was underwater. It's the one thing about Florida, isn't it? Drains quick. 2nd and 10, 8:18 to play, 1st quarter between the Outlaws and the Bengals. Just ignore that clock. One of these days I'll figure out how to work it. Johnson with 1 back now and 4 wide receivers, 3 to the near side. Looks to throw, does, tipped, nearly intercepted. Rodney Matthew had a shot at it. And now it'll be 3rd down and 10. Certainly 4-down territory. They went for it on 4th down on their side of the 50, so this is a no-brainer here. I'll tell you what, they got a little lucky this year. The Fcfl, at least down here in Fort Pierce, the weather's been cool at nights. Usually about this time of the year, it's hot and muggy. Not tonight. 3rd down now. Oh, that's a horrible snap. Somehow Johnson pulls it down, but also pulling him down on the play is Sean Forte. And Forte is pretty pleased with himself, as he should be. Forte got in there and did not give Darius Johnson any room to run. He actually just tackled him. All right, guys, keep your composure over there. Keep your composure. Keep your composure. You done come too far. Meach wants a timeout, I think. It is a heated exchange going on that far sideline. Big Meach out in the middle of the field wanting to know what's going on. So it's now 4th down, and once again, forever. Clock 7:18 and running. And Johnson will bring them back to the line. Right in the middle of your living room. Checking in big number 51, Calvin Hicks, a lineman. They better hurry here to get this off. Another bad snap on the ground. And that's as good as a punt. Returned all the way back, fumbled and recovered by John Tucker. And Tuck comes off the field. He's going to get the turnover chain. As he recovers the fumble, that gives the Fort Pierce Bengals outstanding field position. 1st and 10 at the 36-yard line of Pompano Beach. I don't know what the hell I'm saying. As good as a punt. What I meant was much better than a punt. And Tuck proudly wears the big turnover chain there. And here we go. 1st and 10. Edgecombe with Howard and I believe now Harris in the backfield. Two big guys back there. The give is to Harris. Gets outside. Cuts outside. Nice run. Cuts back. Still on his feet. And he's going to have a gain of about 16, 17 yards. And a 1st down. And Fort Pierce, when they hang on to the football, they're moving it. So now inside the Pool Boy Mafia with 6 minutes to play here in the first quarter. And the Bengals on top, 8-0 and driving. Again, it's Howard and Harris, the H&H backs. Again, it's Harris. Again, it's the same play. And Meach employs the old Vince Lombardi method, run it till they stop it. And that's a gain of 5, 6. 6 times 4 is 24. That puts them in the end zone. 5:22 to go. 2nd and 5. By the way, so does 5 times 4. Yes, indeed. I agree, Eddie. Got to keep that tempo. Tempo, tempo, tempo. It's a big part of this offense. That's the other thing, too, about turnovers. Turnovers, I think, offenses that are based on tempo, turnovers hurt them so bad. Every offensive coordinator will tell you, my offense is based on tempo. Now you do. Yeah, he just, yep. Yep, he just signaled for it, so yep, you're good, timeout. But, yeah, every offensive coordinator will tell you my offense is based on tempo, but a lot of them aren't. The ones that are quick to the line of scrimmage, keep working that, just like the Bengals did there, working that same play until they stop it. And then a turnover, it just throws the entire rhythm of the offense off. So 4:36 to play in the first. A 53-yard pass interference penalty. And then followed up by a 7-yard run by Torrey Howard. And then an extra point that The snap was bad, then picked up and run in for 2. And this is a penalty. I didn't see the flag, didn't see the call. And I think it's a 15-yard unsportsmanlike conduct, 10 yards. 10 yards on something. I'm not sure what, though. They say holding. Okay. I'm by myself tonight, so if I miss something, feel free to put it in the comment section if you do see it. My partner's up in Brevard County tonight doing an EAFL game with the Sharks, the East Coast Sharks, and the Grizzlies from Georgia. 2nd and 14, turns, gives to Howard. Howard cuts back inside. Big man, number 36 for Pompano Beach, 38. Jermaine Knowles loses his helmet for playing NFL rules. He's got to come off for a play. Hey, his helmet came off. His helmet came off. Yeah, one play. No, no. Good question, though, but no. 3rd and 13. Shows blitz, pulls it back, Edgecombe fakes, throws. Hopefully we see it. And just over the outstretched arms of his intended wide receiver, which will bring up 4th and 13. See who that receiver is. It comes out of the end zone there. Speedy Knowles was the intended receiver. So the clock is stopped with 3:27 to play here in the first. So here we go. Big 4th down coming up. See if the Bengals can get points off turnovers. Edgecombe with Smith to his left, Harris to his right. Knowles split wide left. Edgecombe drops back to throw. He does. Nice out of his break, but he skipped it. And that'll be a turnover on downs. The receiver was there, but the ball came out short. And it'll be 1st and 10 for Pompano Beach from the Fort Pierce 21. There are a bevy of sponsors that Big Meech, John Chandler, has that contribute to helping the Fort Pierce Bengals achieve what they want to achieve here. And there are just some of them on your screen. And we'll give them all a big shout out coming up a little bit later on. So here we go. 1st and 10 at the 21 for the Darius Johnson and company. 4 wide receivers split doubles. That means they're split equally to each side. 1 back in the backfield, and he's going to go in motion. He is Chestnut St. Melis, and there he goes. Nice block. And he's going to step out of bounds after a gain of 11. So it'll be 1st and 10 at the 32 now. And Darius, is number 7 even wearing shoulder pads? And there's a lot of talking going on that far sideline. It's the playoffs. You play differently. At this pace, we'll be out of here about midnight tonight. I have no idea what's going on. Absolutely no idea why everybody's coming off the field. It's like a timeout taken by somebody. Probably a good time. Getting a little heated. And Big John Mee's going to walk over and see if he can't try to get some peace here. All right, I guess we're ready to go. 1st and 10 at the 32 after the 12-yard run by quarterback Darius Johnson. South Division of the FCFL, round 1 of the playoffs tonight. Johnson alone in the backfield, 5 wide receivers, looks to throw, gets out of 1 tackle, gets outside. He's got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 yards on that one again. So he's picked up 21 yards in 2 plays, 2nd and 1 for the Outlaws. He is their offense. He was in the 29-22 win over them before. Oh, quick throw, caught, nice play, pitch and catch, and a nice pop coming in, gain of 7. Good hit by Wallace. Chris Wallace on a good hit, good stick, but a nice timing route there. Little quick pop across the middle, and that's the first complete pass of the game by either quarterback. As Tommy Mitchell checks in. And right back to the line of scrimmage. So the Outlaws trying to establish tempo. And look at this. Johnson's going to go back the other way. He's going to get chased. And, he looked like he was face masked. He was. That's the 15-yard variety. So that's going to be a first down. Grabbing the face mask there was John Tucker, and Tuck knows it. So 1:36, clock stop for the penalty, and this will be a 15-yarder and a first down. And this will put the football, I guess not. What is he doing? Okay. He marked it from where the face mask occurred. Okay. So it is 2nd and 3 now. Yeah, I think we're going to talk about this because it should be 15 yards from the line of scrimmage, not from where the foul occurred. And that's what they're telling them. It's 15 yards from the line of scrimmage. Referee say no, it's not. Okay, so what they're going to do is they're just going to give them a first down at the 50 because they spotted it from where the face mask happened, 15 yards and automatic first down. Okay, if it works and nobody else is complaining, I guess that's what we're going with here. And that is exactly what we're going with. So it'll be 1st and 10 from the 50. All right. There's a new one. Okay. All righty. Kind of like it. No, I'm kidding. Quarterback drops back, looks to throw, dumps it across the middle. And I don't know if that was intended for him because cutting across the middle wide open and probably would still be running was Victor Jones. So it'll be 2nd and 10 following the incomplete pass. And ball still on the 50. So I guess we're just going to play on. 1:30 to go, 90 seconds. Blitz showing. And, yep, dead ball, delay a game. It'll back them up 5. So now it'll be 2nd and 15. Or we could leave it there and just flip the yard marker to 3rd. I'm kidding again. 8-0's our score. A Torrey Howard 7-yard touchdown run. So 2nd and 15 following the delay of game. 90 seconds to play in the first quarter. Here in the FCFL first round action between Fort Pierce and Pompano Beach. Johnson looking to throw. That's going to be a hold. Another hold. And so we got 2 holds on the play. And that'll back them up. $10 yards. And it'll be 2nd. If they mark it from where the hold occurred, which is what they should do, the hold occurred at the 40. And they're going to decline it or walk them back. I'm not sure. So if they march it from where the hold occurred, which is a hold is a spot foul. I don't like that rule, but it is. It should be 2nd down and 38. Okay, so we're close. 2nd and 30. All right, here we go. 2nd and 30. We got closer that time. And the Bengals show blitz. Back up. Johnson lets this. This is for anybody, and it falls incomplete. And this is going to be a roughing the passer call. And that's going to be 15 yards. Well, I can't wait to see this. So if it's NFL rules, it's 15 yards and a first down. And it should be 1st and 10 at the 50. but it's not. It'll be 1st and 20 at the 40. Okay, I have no idea how they arrived at that, but all right. All right, yeah. And Bird stops the clock with 1:15 to play in the first. The ball should be on the 50. Come on, guys. It shouldn't be 20 yards to go. In high school and in college, maybe they're playing college rules. Well, in college, pass interference is 15 yards, just like it is in high school. They're playing NFL rules. So NFL rules is 15 yards and an automatic first down on a roughing the passer or a late hit. So now they're going to keep it at 1st down and 20. In high school or college, it would just be 15 yards. And it would be 1st and what it is now. All right, so 1st and 20 for Pompano Beach. And a gain of 1, 2nd and 19. All right, so the issue here's one of the big problems. See, I'm going to show you what they're doing over here. The guy with the down marker. Let me show you where the confusion's coming in. See the guy on the right of the screen? That's the down marker guy right there. That marker there is supposed to be where the ball started on the drive. There is the down marker, which you cannot see. They got 3 down markers over there. So that's where that guy needs to put that thing down. That is always placed at the start of the drive. And that's what the discussion is. He needs to go back to where the start of the drive was. But he makes it look like it's like 2nd and 30. If I were playing and I was a quarterback out there, come on, dude, put it down. .9 seconds. Oh, I'm going to put this on mute. Hang on for a second. I'm going to try and see if I can't tell him. Man, I apologize, and I feel ignorant for not being able to explain this, but I just never seen a sequence like this before in which this has occurred. But that's the obvious confusion and where it's coming in. After the face mask, it should have been 1st and 10 at the 50, based on where the ball was spotted. After, or no, I'm sorry, yes. And then the roughing the passer call following that play should have had them back. They have botched this drive big time. And the guy with the arrow, he just needs to lay the thing down. I mean, if there's no use for it unless you're going to put it where the drive started. All right, here we go. 2nd, and I'm not sure what it is. Based on this, it looks like 2nd, or now they say 1st and 10, 1st down. I don't know. I'm sorry, folks. Looks to throw. Johnson does. Wide open. The big guy across the middle. And the ball's out. Oh, no. They're going to say he was down. Wow. Okay. I'm watching it. That's close. That's a tough call to make. He is injured. But that's going to be called. He's going to be called down. And a completed pass. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm on a 30-second delay, and watching the delay feed happen awfully quick. So I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. He's a lot closer than I am. That's Marcus Coney on the reception. 1st and 10 at the 35. Johnson in trouble. He's going to go down. Nice play. Good pursuit. Number 28, Ted Luchin. And he's got a couple of words not able to say on camera. So now it is 2nd down and 25. Travis, hey. Thank you, Gary. I appreciate that. Gary Ward giving me the EAFL update out of Brevard County. Grizzlies get their 2nd win. That's the end of the 1st quarter. I'm going to step out and take a break. Be right back with the start of the 2nd quarter here. I don't. No, I sure don't. Yeah. All right, back with 2nd quarter action here. Change sides. Hang tight here. All right, we're ready. Here we go. Start of quarter number 2. 2nd and 12. Pompano Beach. Much different game than we had last time. 2nd and 12. 14. Darius Johnson, after being sacked by Luchin. He sits St. Milas. High snap, in trouble again. And he's got room to run, and he's still on his feet. Cuts back again. And he's going to stiff arm and talk and run out of bounds. After a gain of 27-31 and a Pompano Beach first down in Fort Pierce Bengal territory here. So the ball will be placed at the 30. So now it looks like the arrow marker is the second part of the first down marker. Okay. But, hey, as long as we got yard markers and not 4 of them over there, we good. St. Milas moves to the right of Johnson. Big Willie Boston slides over on the defensive line. And Johnson rolls right, tries to. That's a hold. So it'll be first and probably 21 or 22. 14-24 with the flag on the field. And they back them up. That is the 4th holding penalty of the game for Pompano Beach. So ball is backed up to the Fort Pierce 45. Okay, just he goes. Right. Now we got it. All right, now we in good shape. So the hold occurred 5 yards deep in the backfield, so it's 2nd and 25. 14-24 to play in the half. 8-0. Fort Pierce on top. He just lets one fly. And difficult catch to make. And they say stop the clock. I'm not sure why. Oh, yeah, incomplete pass. Now I'm messing up the rules. They got my head. So 3rd and 25. They out there doing the old Trevor Bauer sword thing. 3rd and 25 coming up. So we averaging what? One play every 3.5 minutes? It's not bad. Willie Boston going to come off and get a breather. Johnson in the backfield. 2 wide receivers to the right. From the gun, Johnson and St. Milas. Switches sides. The snap is A change up. Johnson rolls to his right, throws, and in the dirt, and it's 3rd and 25. 4th and 25. So 4th down and 25, and a Bengal goes down injured on the play. All right, we'll mute it here. Be right back in 1 minute. All right, here we go. 4th down and forever. They don't punt, and they're not going to do it here. Johnson looks to throw. He does. And incomplete, and a turnover on downs. And Fort Pierce will take over 1st and 10 at their own 45 with 13:50 to play in the first half. I feel like we ain't seen Antoine Edgecombe in the offense in forever. Since yesterday. Offense with a touchdown tonight, and they drove deep, had first and, well, not first and goal, but inside the red zone and couldn't score on the last drive. And now they take over 1st and 10 at their own 45. It'll be Edgecombe with Ranchavis Sears and Harris in the backfield. 2 wide receivers, tight end in. Turns, gives to Sears. Sears got a nice quick first step. Didn't waste any ground in the backfield. And that stop is made by Marcus Coney for Pompano Beach, 2nd and 7. Amanda, are you all related to the Edgecombes in Brevard County? Jaden Edgecombe, Angel Edgecombe. 2nd and 7. Turns, gives. Oh, straight up the gut. Nice run by Harris. Good run by D. Harris. He picks up a Fort Pierce first down. I thought he was gone. And the ball all the way into Pompano Beach territory. So it'll be 1st and 10 at the Outlaw 43. .12:30 and rolling here in quarter number 2. About an hour and 20-minute delay to get started. Pompano Beach late arriving, and then the torrential rain. Sears and Harris again in the backfield for Edgecombe. This time it is Harris again. And that time Harris is stacked up for a gain of 2. So actually 2nd and 9, picked up about 1. .11:36 and running. Coming up at halftime, absolutely nothing. Edgecombe back, little screen pass and dropped. Be careful with those behind the line of scrimmage. Yeah, Jaden, a senior at Cocoa High School, going to go to University of Florida next year on a scholarship. Third down and 9. Following the incomplete pass on the screen. One back in the backfield. Cam Webb split near side wide. In trouble. Edgecombe steps up, wanted it, takes off, got room. He's going to pick up 6, possibly 7. 6. Oh, they throw a flag, and now we got pushing and shoving, and this is exactly what we didn't want. And D. Harris takes his helmet off, and you can't do that, guys. Come on. Flags fly, and this will be 20 minutes sorting this out. See what the penalties are here. And he's still in there pushing and shoving. And he's still talking. Back up a little bit just so we can get the quality a little better. 10:44 to play in the second here. And you know, I'm going to be honest with you. Watching these two teams play tonight, something just didn't feel right about it. Something still don't feel right about it in terms of the emotions out there. If you're an athlete, you know what I'm talking about. You get those feelings. And unfortunately, I mean, it's a 4-man referee crew, and they do the best job that they can. They don't pick up everything. I hear you, Beezy. That's for sure. I definitely hear you. I did some games a couple of years ago up in Brevard County where I look, and all the love to my guys up there and the broadcast we did up there. But, I mean, I did some games up there that just got downright ridiculous, man. And then, you know, there comes a time where even as a broadcast company, you go, you know, I can't, you know, Brevard Sports Network, you know, we're a little different than a lot of people. We ain't about clicks. And you know, we don't make money on clicks. You know, our money comes from advertising, sponsors, and donations. And so, I would love to get 20,000 views per stream, but that ain't what we're about. We're about promoting, you know, the student athletes, promoting guys like this. And So we got to be protective of our network too. And a lot of times, this ain't this ain't good when that kind of stuff breaks out. And I never like to get calls that say, "Can you send me a copy of your film?" I hate those calls, whether it be from the FHSAA or a league official. And I'm telling you the truth. If you know us, you know that's what we're about. Oh yeah, that's right. That's what being okay, BZ. I wasn't gonna say any names, but you got it. You got it. You got it, my man. All right, 10:44 to go here in the first half. I can remember a couple of them up at that field in Titusville. I sure can. I sure can. I don't know what was crazier to watch, the fight or my partner Caleb trying to get up out of the way with a camera and a tripod. All right. I just don't. Normally, you get a feeling that something like these things de-escalate. I don't necessarily have that feeling tonight. I hope I'm wrong. All right, we still got penalties to sort out here because it's fourth down. Let's see which way. I can't imagine that this ball is going to be placed where it should be. Yeah, I do. I do. I really do. I agree. Run that football. Everything is always amped up a notch when it's playoff time. I do like the delay there, though. I do think the delay serves a very good purpose to settle things down. And Antoine Edgecombe's out there, and he's keeping the peace, and he's doing a good job as a leader of the offense and settling down his guys. And Big Meach is out there as well. And John Chandler, Big Meach, he don't put up with this. So I don't know Pompano Beach. I don't know their ownership. I don't know their players, but I've gotten to know the guys here a little bit, and they've been phenomenal this season in situations like this. So yeah, I definitely think the delay helps cooler heads come out and play some football now. So penalty goes against Fort Pierce. So it'll be 4th down and about 18, 20 maybe. And I would imagine that big Michael James will be on the punt, and he is. That's the wind shaking the camera. The breeze is definitely picking up. There are 3 guys back deep for Pompano Beach, and 4 more guys check on for Fort Pierce. So I think we eventually going to get a punt off here. Got to be careful with that snap. They're going to fake it, and it ain't going to work. Oh, he gets away, dumps it off to Mitchell, Tommy Mitchell, and he's going to be stopped short. Good idea, but unfortunately, you got to get rid of it. And Big Mike hesitated there for just a second, and the wide receiver was covered. A lot of times you just throw that thing up down the field and hope for an interception because that's just as good as a punt. 2 things going against you there. You had the wind blowing, changed on you, blowing directly in your face. So an attempted onside kick after the touchdown. It unfortunately didn't work, and the fake punt there didn't work. But hey, it's the playoffs. You pull it all out of your playbook, and so far we've seen John Chandler's staff do that. 10:32 to go as we stay on par with 1 play now every 4.5 minutes. 1st and 10 for Pompano Beach. What's up, Shane? So Soldiers and Tar Heels. I'm down here in Fort Pierce a lot calling games now for the Bengals. Caleb and my guy Jackson are up in Brevard County doing the East Coast Sharks. What are we doing? How do we get a penalty? I have no idea what happened. I don't know how they got pushed back 10 more yards, but they did. So Pompano Beach is going to take over 1st and 10 at their own 35. In the back, the quarterback is Darius Johnson. He's probably got close to 70 yards rushing already tonight. And he fakes. Nice block. Johnson gets outside. He's in trouble, and he's going to go way out of bounds. And that's a loss of about 8, 9. And he nearly got sent to the parking lot. Actually, a loss of 6, so it'll be 2nd down and 16 now. All night long, Pompano Beach behind the sticks. Not a good way to be, but now they got the win at their back. So, look, if you're going to take a shot, now's the time to do it. 2nd and 16 here. And the referee says wind the clock. I'm not sure. See what happens here. The change-up snap again. Johnson outside, looks to throw back across. Not a good idea. And he does not go out of bounds. He comes back across, steps over 1, steps over 2. He's still on his feet. He's still going. And now he's just absolutely going to be jacked into the fence. And I'm not sure. Wow. Holy cow. That's a good run. I thought he was going out of bounds on the other side. Apparently, so did the Fort Pierce defense. And guess what? He's out of bounds, which means the clock will stop again. But he does pick up nearly all of the yards required for a first down, so it's 3rd and 1. And he just ran 80 yards to pick up 16. 9:27 to go. Johnson. Oh, my goodness. Oh, that's intentional grounding. How do you not throw a flag on that? I don't understand how that's not intentional grounding. But anyway, it's 4th down now and a loss of 13 or 14, and that'll bring up 4th and 14. Not unless he didn't blow the play dead. I'm just trying to cover for him a little bit there. That's intentional grounding. Should be a penalty, a loss of down, and 10 yards from that spot. But it's not. So it's 4th and 14 now. And I don't really see them punt, but if they got a kicker, now would probably be a pretty good time to unleash him. The last time they tried to punt in the game a couple of weeks ago when they played, the problem they had was the punter was too close to the line of scrimmage, and Fort Pierce blocked the kick. So this time he's about the distance that he needs to be back. And back deep's my guy, Speedy Knowles. Man, I want to see Speedy bust one for about 70. .737 to go. Wind at the back of the punter. Here we go. Snap is okay. And that is a line drive picked up by Tommy Mitchell. Mitchell's going to take off down the left side. Mitchell cuts back. He's at the 40. Mitchell down to the 30, still on his feet, cuts back again, and brought down at the 29-yard line. Tommy Mitchell picked it up and took off 36 yards. And the Fort Pierce Bengals will once again have outstanding field position. Hanging on to an 8-0 lead here. I truly believe, and because I'm by myself, I can't keep the stats, but I believe Pompano Beach has negative yards on offense tonight. And not by a little bit either. So Antoine Edgecombe brings the offense back out again, and congratulations to Antoine. He made I believe he's one of the Fort Pierce Bengals. There's several to make the all-star selections. Antoine had a good year. It was fun to watch him develop this year, throughout the course of the year. Turns, gives to Storcha. And Pompano Beach swallows that up whole. The good news there is that the clock keeps running. The bad news is that it's a loss of about a yard. Actually, he gets right back to the line of scrimmage, so 2nd and 10. Second quarter, that's not me forgetting to flip it. It's the late start encountered. Pompano Beach arrived late, and then the deluge that moved in off the Atlantic Ocean slowed the start of the game. 2nd and 10 from the 28-yard line. Edgecombe drops back to pass, looks, fires, throws. Nice toss, dropped. And that's a flat drop. And that'll be 3rd and 10. It's a good ball from Antoine. And Cam Webb, who normally sure-handed. So 3rd and 10 now. 4-down territory for sure for Fort Pierce. 5:25 to go. Antoine again hits it quick, throws, can't see. Touchdown! Fort Pierce Bengals. Thank you, ventilation system. But the Bengals score a touchdown. Let's get the number. Who was that? Was it Cam? Cam Webb comes right back after the drop and catches a touchdown pass. But all we could see is that beautiful piece of pipe right there. But however, with 5:10 to play, it's 14-0 as Antoine Edgecombe hits Cam Webb with a perfect strike and a Fort Pierce touchdown. And they're going to go for 2 here, and I don't blame them because the wind is blowing right in their face. Edgecombe from the gun with Smith. Turns and gives it. The ball's out and down, but they won't get it. However, a beautiful strike from Edgecombe to Webb, and the Bengals are now up by 2 scores with 4:48 to play in the first half. That is some good stuff right there. I couldn't see it. I don't know if we got it. I hope we did. And I want to take this opportunity, as we did a little earlier. Big Meech. Want you to remember a lot of former players. Remember, this is the first season back from COVID. And Dante D. Truth Williams, Hanneman Joyce, Devontae Deuce, Ronnie Head Jones, who we're honoring tonight, Larry Big Man Johnson, Cedric Wilcox, and Brian Triple Pryor. Rest in peace. And of course, tonight there's Ronnie on the screen there. What a story the Bengals are. First year back, Big Meech counters all the problems, of course, that first year ownership would, and back, and has done a heck of a job here at Khalil Mack Field. I'm honored to be associated with him. And that goes out of bounds as Big Michael James don't stand a chance kicking that ball tonight in that wind. And 1st and 10 at the 40 now for Pompano Beach. And they better get on the ball here, literally, with 4:25 to play. Fort Pierce will receive the opening kickoff in the 3rd quarter. And the Bengals are exactly 34 minutes and 25 seconds away from advancing in the Fcfl playoffs. A lot of football left, and we saw this team. This was exactly the score a couple of weeks ago between these two, and Pompano Beach managed to come back and take a 16-14 lead in that one. Let's see what lessons were learned by Fort Pierce in allowing that to happen. Showing blitz. They bring blitz. Johnson throws. And Chris Wallace fell down and just knew that was him right there. 2nd and 10 now. .407 to play in the first half. So a 37-yard touchdown pass and a 7-yard touchdown run. A 2-point conversion off a missed extra point. And we're 14-0 here. Johnson showing blitz off the edge, and he comes. Throws across the middle, caught. That's a gain of 8. Nice catch by Marcus Coney. He hung on knowing he was going to get stuck, and stuck he got. 3:35, and the clock continues to run. Now, I got to mute it at halftime, but I'll keep it on so that you can see the dancers. I know they're having some kind of a dance competition at halftime, but I can't let the music play, otherwise the feed will get shut down. Johnson again gets outside, and he's going to run for his life. Again, Big Willie Boston was there. That ball is just thrown up. And what the referees are going to say, and that's actually a very good no call, is that's an uncatchable ball. But actually, hang on. There is a flag thrown way back there at the 10-yard line by the back judge. And that's exactly what Harold Miller's saying, is that's an uncatchable ball. And Bird's telling his back judge, I don't think that was catchable, but you know what? They're going to walk it off. This is going to be pass interference here. And as the players move down the field, Meach is pointing over his head, and I agree with him on this one. I don't think that was a catchable ball. So that's a pass interference penalty, and it's going to stick, it looks like, and it is as Bird moves the ball up, and that's a big one. It's a 35, 40-yard penalty, and that's the biggest play of the night for Pompano Beach. And again, I'm not sure that was catchable, but I'm not on the field, so, and Meach is going to want, he wants to talk to Bird. He's like, come here, man. You can overrule him on this, is what Big Meach is going to tell him, but Bird's going to tell him it ain't going to happen. And you see Meach pointing over his head. He couldn't have caught that ball if he was 25 feet high. Bird says, I get it. He threw the flag. Nothing I can do. I mark it off. He's saying, come on, John. Let's play. I'm going to turn around and go back. And he does. And John says, okay. Thanks for nothing. And it'll be 1st and 10 at the 26. Yeah, Travis, I'm wondering the same thing myself. Not sure why you would put hands on him there. Because I just don't see how he would have caught that ball if it was on the money with 3 guys on him. 14-0, 3:04 to play in the first half. Bird says, roll it. We roll. Johnson, that's a horrible snap. And somehow Johnson gets it. Oh, my goodness gracious. He's just going to let it fly. Throws. And that is nearly picked off. Well, first of all, it was nearly a completion. Then it was nearly picked off. And there's a flag down on the far side of the field. And they're going to call offsides on Fort Pierce here. So it's going to be 1st and 5. So that was a free play for Darius. So you got a little bit of everything on that one. A near completion, a near interception, and then offsides. So that's going to put the ball near the Pool Boy Mafia red zone, just outside of it. I want to thank Pool Boy Mafia. Our second half sponsor is Big Trouble Loyalty Bail Bonds. 2nd and 6 now. 2nd and 5. 2nd and 5 following and says, let's go. 2:47. The clock will stop one more time. And Johnson gets out of it, and he's in trouble. And I would say he's out of the pocket, and that'll bring up 2nd and 5. So the incomplete pass stops the clock. So things have seemed to calm down a little bit, and that's good. So Pompano Beach right back to the line of scrimmage here. 2nd and 5, 4-down territory for sure. Johnson. St. Melis switches sides. He's on the right now, and that's another bad snap. And Big Willie Boston's in, and that ball is fumbled out as Harold Miller was in there applying pressure, and that's going to bring depend what they call that. If they call that an incomplete pass or a fumble, they're going to call it an incomplete pass. Smart play then by Darius Johnson just to flip it out of bounds like that, because instead of 3rd down and 12, 14, it's still 3rd and 5 now. 14-0 Bengals. Antoine Edgecombe to Cam Webb for 37 yards. And the first score of the game courtesy of a Torrey Howard 7-yard run between the guard and the tackle off the left side. And that's where we are. Now Darius Johnson is out talking to his wide receiver on the far right side. They say stop. We're going to stop the clock right here. There we go. We're at the 2-minute warning. Well, maybe not. All right. Johnson rolls, throws, and nice defensive play coming in there. Tommy Mitchell came in with an arm, knocking it out, 153. So that'll stop us for the 2-minute warning. Back with the rest of, yes, the first half coming up. Here we go with the final $1.53 of the first half here between the Pompano Beach Outlaws and the Fort Pierce Bengals in round 1 of the Fcfl Florida Championship Football League playoffs. 4th down and 5 now for quarterback Darius Johnson. It's actually not Johnson in, and that's all. And I got to tell you, I don't know why Pompano Beach continues not to try to find somebody else that can snap the football back to the quarterback, because it's killing them. That time quarterback was Darrell Osborne, number 2, and it's 1st and 10 here, and the wind is blowing directly in the face of Antoine Edgecombe in the Fort Pierce offense. So Antoine going to probably test his arm strength a little bit here. I'd run the football. I just keep the ball on the ground. You got a 14-0 lead. It's the playoffs. I wouldn't try to do anything. I would just try to get to the half here. You get the ball to start the third quarter. If you put this ball up with the way this wind's blowing, you just don't know what can happen. I run the football. I run the clock out here and get off the field. That's just me, but I'm in the broadcast booth. And they do. Storcha Smith with the carry. Storcha with room. Actually, I think that might be D. Harris, and Antoine Edgecombe says, I'm going to take a timeout. And when you pick up 7 yards on first down, why not? So the second timeout taken by the Bengals. So it's 2nd and 2 now. So if we are going to see a pass, or we are going to see Fort Pierce take a shot, the likelihood of it occurring would probably be right here. Take them looking and see what they're plotting to do here. Like say hello to Caleb Brown, who is home, I would assume, and already done with his broadcast. I don't know how you get so lucky, Brown, but you do. Take advantage of it. Get a jump on things, if you know what I mean. So it is 1:13 and 2nd down and 2.5. Edgecombe from the gun. He's got Tommy Mitchell out wide right. And he's going to throw it here. And they come underneath. Good football play right there by both guys. Yeah, keep it running. Good football play. And Antoine gets them right back to the line of scrimmage. I believe that was Fulton. Edgecombe again looks to throw. He's in trouble. He rolls out. He throws. Oh, off the chest. Should have been caught. And Tommy Mitchell knows it. And that'll stop the clock with 33 seconds. That's a good hit, too. Good stick. Tough to hold on to balls. He had to leave his feet to catch it. When you get hit like that trying to jump up. That Georgia team is tough, man. That's a good team. That Grizzly team, that's a pretty good team. So, 2nd down. Did it ever rain up there in Brevard? 2nd and 10. 33 seconds to go here. Edgecombe from the gun. I might hand it off here. And they're going to throw. Get rid of it, and he does. He hauls it down the field and intercepted by Pompano Beach. This is Victor Jones still on his feet. And Pompano Beach, with 10 seconds to play, has a shot to do something here. And when you've got the legs of Darius Johnson, anything can happen. And that's why I keep the ball on the ground. 10.9 seconds to go. I mean, I like the bravado. I mean, I get it. We see it happen in the NFL, too. I've screamed at my television many a Sundays, why are you taking a shot here? But, hey, if it's what got you to the dance, then I guess it's what you got to do to continue to dance, right? So 1st and 10. 10.9 seconds to go. And they got to figure out the center situation at halftime. I agree, Travis. Just get to the half, man. Just get to halftime. 1st and 10. And he's got the wind at his back. So you just step up and just let one go if he can get a decent snap here. And he doesn't. And he's going to take off running with it. And he's still on his feet, and he steps out with 2.7 seconds. That's a good job. And all of a sudden, they have an opportunity here to take one shot into the end zone. And Darius Johnson probably has 200 yards rushing in terms of running east, west, north, south. Officially, probably about 100. So 2.7 seconds. And if this is the final play, then, well, something's definitely wrong. Unless there's a defensive penalty, because the half or the game can't end on one of those. And that would lead to an untimed down. So one shot here, theoretically, for Pompano Beach. 1st and 10 at the 30 of Fort Pierce. And I think you probably put 3-4 guys down at about the 10 and just keep everything in front and get off the field. And go rest up, come on back, take the second half kickoff, and go score. And here we go, Darius Johnson. And the playmaker looks, and he just lets it go, and that's picked off. And nice job by the Bengals there just to haul that in, and that'll take us to the half. All right, we go to the half with your score, 14-14. I'm going to back the camera up because I got a dance competition going on. Again, I apologize. I can't play the music, but certainly you'll be able to see it. This is a balloon release for Ronnie Jones' birthday.
Okay, check this video out here. The Fort Pierce Bengals dislodged an ambulance that was stuck in a ditch and carrying a teammate back in April. Now, they're looking at a different type of push, a playoff push. The Bengals host the Outlaws at 6 p.m. at Khalil Mack Field for the first round of the Fcfl playoffs this weekend. The Bengals are 5-4 on the year, looking to continue their journey to possibly their first ever championship. When they helped out the community pushing out that ambulance, they did it on their own volition, and now they're looking for some help in the form of support on Saturday.
So financially, we have to pay for everything. We have to pay for the field, the police, the referees, the buses to away games. So the money we make at the gate helps us. So the more people that come in the gate, the better it is for us. Not only that, just the moral support. Us hearing our fans yelling and screaming when we got the ball and yelling defense when we're on defense, it's a big motivation.
Hello, Space Coast. Alan Slaughter-Zinski for the Brevard Sports Network. I just wanted to take this opportunity to thank all of you for your support of BSN and allowing us to cover your student athletes and come into your home each and every night. Give us a follow on Facebook at Brevard Sports Network, and here's to many more years of top-notch sports coverage right here in Brevard County. Thanks again.
I'm Marcus May, and you're watching Brevard Sports Network.
My man. All right, halftime nearing an end here at Khalil Mack Field in beautiful Fort Pierce. Alan Slaughter-Zinski with you as we get set for the third quarter. And it was definitely an auspicious start here tonight for these teams as weather and travel delayed the start of the game nearly 90 minutes. But once we got kicked off, it's really pretty much been this Fort Pierce defense and, the big play capability of Antoine Edgecombe and Cam Webb again. The 53-yard pass interference penalty on the first possession of the game led to a touchdown run by Torrey Howard. And then right before the half, a 38-yard touchdown from Edgecombe to Webb. And that's where we are, 14-0, as the Bengals will receive the opening second half kickoff here. And again, if you're Big Meats, we want to thank the sponsors, Big Trouble Bail Bonds, OE&OE, Attorneys at Law, McGowan's, LLC, The Installation Station, Hog Technologies, Cafe 66. And you see the rest on your screen there. And the second half of the game tonight will be brought to you by Big Trouble Loyalty Bail Bonds. Okay, I guess I was wrong. So it'll be the Bengals kicking off the second half. My bad. My bad. As big Michael James comes on. Back deep is Lavera's Tigger. And number 4 is Victor Jones. As we get ready to go here, third quarter, hopefully will be played a little quicker than was the first half. 14, I'd leave it. We are underway here. Oh, the ball's out and recovered by Fort Pierce. Couldn't ask for a better start. The end-over-end kick by Michael James bounces out of the arms of the receiving team and into the arms of number 32, Lorenzo Timothy. And Edgecombe and company will start first and 10 at the Pompano Beach. Looks like 42-yard line. Heck of a start. Uh-oh. And here we go. Hopefully we ain't losing the stream here. Wind still in the face of Antoine, but that did not matter on the 43-yarder to Cam Webb, and it's Webb split wide right again. And this is going to be a reverse. Oh, my goodness gracious. The block. The block. The block of the year. Holy smokes. You can hear it up here. That is number 56, Greg Goodman. Just absolutely laid out his defender. My goodness gracious, and a great sweep as Harold Miller finishes it off with a run and a first down. Goodness. Oh, my. And it's first and 10 at the 30 now. And checking in is Sears. He'll jump in the backfield with Storches Smith. Webb again, split wide right, tight end in the slot. Tommy Mitchell wide left. Edgecombe now with Sears in the slot, gives to Smith. Smith cuts back. He's got room. Smith still on his feet. And Smith breaks 3, 4, 5 tackles. Still going. Whistles blowing. And they never did bring down Storches Smith, but they do stop at the whistle. And it'll be first and 10 for the Fort Pierce Bengals inside the Big Trouble Loyalty Bail Bonds red zone. In fact, it'll be first and goal from the 10 where the ball will be placed. Yeah, right, Caleb? No doubt. No doubt. Goodness gracious. I'm going to pull that clip and put it on Instagram. I'm going to slow it down. I'm going to back it up. I'm going to enhance the sound. And this is the big man on the carry, Torrey Howard, and he'll be brought down after a gain of 1. Good Lord. I don't believe I'd still be off the ground. And he's playing. He's still playing. He got up. Credit to him. I think. 2nd and goal from the 10, so they say he doesn't pick up a yard. Turns, gives. And Howard again just stepping over people and through people. One of them is still on the ground. And we've got an injured Pompano Beach Outlaw down. And that'll stop the clock for the injury timeout with 10:54 to play in the 3rd quarter. And the Bengals, obviously in 4-down territory here, looking to start off the first drive of the first half exactly the way they started off their first drive. The first drive of the second half, looking to start the way they started their first drive of the first half, and that is with a touchdown. If I screwed that up 14 times over, I apologize, but you get the point. Not sure. I know the Bengals would hit the road next week if they win this. Not quite sure how or where they would go next week or how it works. But I'm sure Big Meech will have it posted on the Fort Pierce Bengals Facebook page, which, if you're a fan of the Fcfl and football, you should click and like. And while you're at it, jump on over to Brevard Sports Network and do the same with us, if you wouldn't mind. I hope you had an opportunity to see the balloon release at halftime for Ronnie Jones there. It was nice. Good job by the guys and the ladies out there. Rest in peace and happy birthday, Ronnie. Happy heavenly birthday. Coming up tomorrow night, if you like candid and fun local sports talk and regular sports talk, join me tomorrow night on Mouthing Off Sports Talk, 8 o'clock tomorrow night on Brevard Sports Network. We have some fun on Sunday nights, and you can be a part of the show as well. And again, thanks to Pool Boy Mafia. Call Danny today. Check out his work on Facebook using the hashtag Pool Boy Mafia, service, installation, and repairs. And out there, I just also want to throw this up. This is a sponsor of mine called EG Kicks out of Brevard County. And what Chase does is he can be found on Instagram. And Chase is a guy that goes after those vintage Nikes. I had an opportunity to see the movie Air last night about Sonny Vaccaro and Nike signing Michael Jordan. And I know that business is booming since the release of the movie. I'm a fan of the Jordan 5s and 6s myself. But a lot of people still like to get their hands on the 2s and 3s. The 1s are tough, even the knockoffs, and expensive. But Chase is the man. You can go on Instagram at EG Kicks, KICKZ. It's a hell of a movie, too, if you get an opportunity to check it out. It'll be streaming on Amazon coming up. I found it online somewhere. Just got to do a little digging. So it'll be 3rd down and goal coming up for Fort Pierce from about the 3-yard line. And again, it's Torrey Howard and Storcha Smith in the backfield. Howard with 1 touchdown tonight already. $10:54 to go in the 3rd quarter. The Bengals looking to add to their 14-point lead. Cam Webb split wide right, but unless Pete Carroll's calling the plays. I can't imagine why you would throw it here. Player is back onto the field. I guess they took a timeout. I don't know. All right. 3rd and goal. Edgecombe with Smith to his left and Howard to his right. They fake it, and this is going to be Edgecombe. And Antoine Edgecombe in for the Bengal touchdown. And with 10:41 to go, Fort Pierce leads it 20-0. I was just getting ready to say Antoine deserves to get him one, and he's got one. And the extra point coming up. So Tommy Mitchell will split wide left, and it'll be the same formation. Edgecombe with Smith and Howard. And Edgecombe turns and gives to Smith. Smith cuts back, turns, breaks one tackle. He is in for the 2. And with 10:41 to play in the third quarter, the Bengals have added to their lead as they get on the board again, and it's 22-0. Trying to pitch a shutout here. Smart play calling down there. It really was. I thought that was, following the turnover, I really thought that was the best series of downs for them in the game tonight. And that's a good sign in the third quarter as Michael James gets set to kick off. His last kickoff bounced off the chest of the up man and into the arms of Lorenzo Timothy for a turnover, the third of the game tonight. .10:41 to play in the third. And Michael James getting ready to put that, it's got to be about a 14 or a 15 into that football. And again, same kick. And that's a free ball. And it's loose again. And it's Pompano Beach with it. Okay. Wow. That was crazy. Crazy. If I was Michael James, I'd say on an interview, yeah, I do that on purpose. All right, so Darius Johnson's got his hands full now here, trailing 22-0. Bengals right now just playing a little bit more cleaner of a game, and the thing that Pompano Beach offense just could not get right in the first half was the snap. That's the thing that hurt them the most. And that snap literally took probably 3/4 of a second to get to the quarterback. That just can't be. All right. One back in the backfield, 4 wide receivers, double, split equal to both sides of the football field. And Johnson, with 5 guys on the line, looks to throw. And chasing him, throws. And nice catch by Victor Jones. And Jones hauls it in for a gain of 26 and a Pompano Beach first down. And into Fort Pierce territory come the Outlaws, looking to put their first points on the board here tonight. First and 10 at the 30. They have been down in Fort Pierce territory a couple of times, but Fort Pierce has bent but not broke. That's even proper English. 8:26 and running. Johnson gets a good snap that time, as good as he's gotten all night, and he is being chased hard. Skips out of that and just throws. Oh, my. What a play. That's a complete pass. Heck of a play. He threw an absolute dart on the sidelines, the Chestnut St. Melis, and it was hauled in. Heck of a play by the quarterback there. Looked like he was just going to go out of bounds, and he just let it loose. And St. Melis got both his feet in, and it's 2nd and 2 for Pompano Beach at the right outside the Big Trouble Loyalty Bail Bond red zone with 8:11 to go in the third. Another good snap. Oh, and that's a great play there on an ankle tackle. That's how you do it. Can't run without your feet. And he didn't try to horse collar him, which was a good thing. He's trying to get the number in. The number is 12. It's Rodney Matthew. Rodney comes up big for this team. Also got Sandrevius O'Neal out there, a lockdown type corner for Fort Pierce, all-star. 3rd down and about 3 now for Pompano Beach. 7:15 and rolling here in third. I don't know what all that was, but there goes Johnson, tries to get out, and guess who's chasing him? That's Matthew. Matthew gets him out of bounds again. Matthew coming from the other side that time, and that will be a sack officially. And it's 4th down after a loss of 4 and about 8. Quarterback's looking to pass, and he runs out of bounds behind the line of scrimmage. That's a sack, and it'll go to the aforementioned Rodney Matthew. So Pompano Beach has run into the 4th down wall inside of Fort Pierce Bengal territory once again tonight. This is their biggest play of the night right here. They need to convert or score to have any shot at all here coming down the stretch. Darius Johnson with St. Melis to his right. 4 wide receivers. They're split equal to left and right side. Johnson drops back, looks to throw. He does. And into an area where there are no green and yellow jerseys, and that is another turnover on downs inside of Fort Pierce Bengal territory, and Antoine Edgecombe and the Bengal offense will take the field with 5:43 to play in the third and a 22-0 lead. Going to find the offensive coordinator here. Storchy Smith, Torrey Howard, Sears. All of my running backs are getting some work right here. Because I don't think there's any reason to put the football in the air with the wind in your face. And at the 26-yard line. Clock starts. Edgecombe. Sears in motion, and the give is to Sears. And Sears cuts back inside. He'll pick up maybe one. I couldn't agree with you more, Travis. Could not agree with you more. And we've got a pump. 1, 2. Well, they're up. Okay, they're up. Get up, get up. On one knee, and he's up. So no gain, 2nd and 10, and that's okay. Take the play clock. Snap the ball with about 3 seconds to go on the play clock and run the football. You are 19 minutes and 50 seconds away from advancing. Little swing pass, that's okay. Tommy Mitchell, good move. Mitchell will be, that should be a flag, but it won't be. Should have been a hit to the head, but it's not. And it'll be 3rd down and 7 here. So if you're going to throw the ball, that's all right there. A little swing pass out of the backfield. Mitchell, a little shaken up, and he'll come out. It was a hard hit he took to his head. Checking in is number 19, Dontravius Joseph. So a 3 wide receiver set to the right, near side. The lone man at the top, I believe, is Thomas Fulton. They say wind the clock, and Edgecombe. Sears in motion, fakes the jet sweep, goes across the middle, low to Cam Webb. See, I'm not sure why you're throwing the football there. It's 3rd down and 7. The incomplete pass stops the clock, and now it forces a punt. And instead of taking the clock down to about 3:01, 3:02, it's 4:32, and time matters because Darius Johnson's a playmaker. And he can score from anywhere on the football field. Now, Fort Pierce has kept him in check tonight. But it's hard to do, especially as the game wears down. These guys work all week. You get into the 3rd and 4th quarter of these games, and the tiredness is real. I just don't understand it. But, again, I'm not a coach, so... And I didn't stay in a Holiday Inn last night either. But I was a quarterback for a while. 4th down. Whistles and offside. So this will be a 5-yard penalty. Still got a punt here. Move the ball up 5 yards, but you still got a punt. I hope. Gunner's in position. Back deep. The up man is number 24, Fritzen St. Lafleur. And Victor Jones. Did they catch him again? If they got him again, that's a 1st down. They did. It is, and it's 1st and 10, I believe. And there's a flag. I don't know what's going on now. All right, I'm not sure what happened there. Thought they called them offsides again. All right, here we go. Now we're going to punt. So Michael James is back deep to punt. Victor Jones back deep for Pompano. Get a good snap here. Low, but hell of a punt. But it'll drift out of bounds from the wind. Got it up, but the wind just caught it and took it out. And Pompano Beach now, with a lot more time on the clock than they should have, will take over 1st and 10 at their own 45 maybe. Yep, no idea what's going on. All of a sudden, the yard marker guys just left. Just dropped the sticks and left. And we've got a couple of new guys over there now, I guess. I don't know. Okay. All right, 4:07 to play here. No idea what's happening. Should be 1st and 10 for Pompano Beach from about the 46 is where I'm at. Okay. All right, we're close. 47. I'll take it. So 1st and 10 at the 47 with 4:07. 4s and 7s on the board wild here. And here comes Darius Johnson again. They try to make a play. Good snap. Throws across the middle and short. He had his guy streaking. He just missed him. And that'll bring up 2nd and 10. He was open. I think you got to lay out for that a little bit too. Somebody's got to make a play. 2nd and 10. I can't get over how well that field dried. It should be tore up. .344 to play. They want the headlights turned off. And the pickup truck parked by the fence. There you go. Headlights are off. We're ready to roll now. Bengals show blitz, and they bring it from both sides. Ball is just thrown up wide open. But, sorry about that. I jerked the camera up. But wide open. But because of the blitz, he was unable to step into the throw and instead just launched it. And in doing so, was unable to hit his guy there, who would have scored. So some sort of a busted coverage play back there, and the 4 DBs get together and say, your man, my man, whose man? Somebody better take him. So now it's 3rd and 10 with 3:37 to play. And I wouldn't be at all shocked to see Pompano Beach go back to that again. Maybe the other side here. Good snap. And this time he does go right back to it. And incomplete. Receiver stopped running and instead tried to leap for the football, and that's never a good thing. And that'll bring up 4th and 10. .328 to play in the 3rd. So it's 4th down now. And obviously they've got to go for it. As the offense gets ready on the sidelines for Fort Pierce. And there's a 5 wide receiver set now for Pompano Beach. 3 of them on the right-hand side of the football field. Darius Johnson barks out the signals. And he asked for St. Mel. Oh, that's a horrible snap. St. Mellis is there, and they better do something. And the Fort Pierce Bengals will take over 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line of Pompano Beach. As Antoine Edgecombe leads the offense back on here. I don't know at what point of the 4th quarter you would get to before I would take my starting quarterback out and maybe try to get somebody else some snaps. Just to, the field's sloppy, it's wet. You may want to just ensure his safety for next week. With a 22-0 lead, they score on this drive here. I think it's definitely something that needs to be thought about as a coaching staff. Keep your starting quarterback upright and keep him moving week to week. Antoine might not like it, but it is for the betterment of the team. 1st and 10. Sears in motion, fakes the jet sweep, gives the Storch to Smith on the counter. Smith gets outside, still on his feet, cuts back, still on his feet. Storch Smith down to the 10. What a run by Storch Smith on the fake jet sweep to Sears. The counter back to Storch, and away he went. And Storch is having a heck of a night running the football. He picks up 20, and it's 1st and goal again for Fort Pierce at the 10-yard line, inside the Big Trouble Loyalty Bail Bonds red zone. And they're going to press it, and I like it, with 1:50 to play here in the 3rd. as Edgecombe's got him right back to the line of scrimmage, as myself and Travis Cass were talking about earlier. Tempo, tempo, tempo. It's important, especially late. Storcha deserves his touchdown. Will he get it? The give is to him. Stiff arm, cuts back, inside again, and Storcha is knocked very violently to the ground, but he bounces right back up. That was a pretty good hit there, and I believe that hit was delivered by Marcus Coney, and that's the guy that got laid out, I believe, on the big block by Greg Goodman. And that time he counters with a big hit on Storcha, but Smith pops right back up, and it's second and actually they can pick up a first down, so 2nd and 8 for the Bengals. The ball was at the 12, so now it's at the 10. Edgecombe, this time to Torrey Howard, follows his block. Nice job. Howard still on his feet, and he is brought down about 3 yards short of a first down, so it'll be 3rd and about 3 here. Antoine Edgecombe, Torrey Howard, and Cam Webb with touchdowns tonight. 2 of them on the ground, and 1 of them in the air. And we got a timeout on the field for some reason. I'm not sure why anybody would call a timeout with 22.4 seconds to play. Referee said stop the clock. I don't know why.
They just told me to start the clock.
Yeah, that's because the referees are out of place over here. I don't know what they're doing. All right. The back judge is back in place. All right, well, there's 12 seconds to go. It should be the final play of the 3rd quarter. They say start the clock now, so 2nd and 3. Should be 3rd and 3, actually. Should be 3rd down. Shane says 2nd. And that'll take us to the end of our 3rd quarter with our score. Fort Pierce 22 and Pompano Beach nothing. Boy, I never thought I'd see this minute come when they think in the 4th quarter. All right, they want to get it over quick, too. That's the quickest between quarter change I've seen. And right back to it we go. Second, it says 2nd and 1. 3rd and 1. Should be 3rd, but it's 2nd. The give is to Howard. Howard on his feet. And he'll be stacked up, but he'll have a first down, so it'll be 1st and goal to go from about the 2. So it's 1st and goal now. Edgecombe with Howard. I just got to think it's either going to be Antoine again or Howard. It's Howard. Meets his tackler head on and in for his second Fort Pierce Bengal touchdown of the night is Torrey Howard, and we got fighting in the end zone. Howard just trucked him. And it's quickly broken up. Nice job, guys. And with 14-12 to play in the game, the score moves to 28-0. As the big guys up front certainly did their job. Torrey Howard with 2 touchdown runs tonight. That one from 2 yards out. His lockdown corner, St. Dravius O'Neal's out there, winding him up. You can see him on the bottom right of your screen, dancing. He knows he's going to the second round. And it's 14-12. And Edgecombe going to stay on for the 2-point try. All right, finally, we're ready for the extra point attempt. Edgecombe with Howard to his right. And it's Howard again, and this time he's stacked, and and then the attempt will be no good. But the Bengals get on the board. And it's 28-0. As the kickoff team comes on, last couple of kickoffs have not been fielded well by Pompano Beach. Michael James has done them end over end. And the kickoff to start the half bounced out of the hands of one of the up receivers and into the arms of a Bengal. And then the last one just kind of bounced around the ground until they were able to finally recover it. The record game for length this year for our broadcast was 3 hours and 39 minutes. We're pushing 2:57 right now. Can we play 14 minutes and 12 seconds of clock time in roughly 42 minutes? We shall find out. As the Bengals are well on their way to advancing to round 2 of the Fcfl playoffs. They'll take place next week. We reached out to the Fcfl and had talked to Meach about broadcasting the championship game. I reached out to the Fcfl, but I never heard anything back. So I don't believe we are going to be the broadcasters of the Fcfl championship game. What are we? I don't know what we're doing here. People are laying down on the field. Here comes the referees over. They might end the game right here. They might. I don't know why they would. They're counting players, so I don't know what the deal is or what the holdup is again. But, yeah, it looks like we'll break that 3 hour and 39-minute record. I have no idea what's going on. Somebody got thrown out. So that's what it is. Somebody got thrown out, and he's got to take his shoulder pads off. That's what the holdup is. I guess we're ready. Yeah, we should be playing with a running clock now, right? I wish. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. They got like 6 guys thrown out, it looks like. Or at least a bunch of those guys. Bunch of guys left. It's crazy. Finally, we're kicking off. And that's going to go into the end zone. Nice kick by Michael James, and it'll be 1st and 10 at the 20. I ain't never heard so many whistles without play. All right, 13:55. Here we go. Darius Johnson, the quarterback. Michael Torres, what's going on, my man? Good to see you, buddy. Good to see you. Ball's out, and down goes the quarterback. And in on the stop, Zay Scott comes flying in. My man, Michael Torres, former owner of the Orlando Phantoms, now the man that launched one of the most successful semi-pro football leagues in the country, the EAFL. We got the Sharks. You saw the Sharks and the Grizzlies play an EAFL game earlier tonight on Brevard Sports Network. And there's a big hole up the middle and brought down. $12:30 to go and running. Johnson with St. Melis. Looks to throw, and that ball is deflected and incomplete. And it'll be 4th down. And I would imagine they got a punt. The incomplete pass will follow the bouncing ball at home with me, if you will. Stop the clock. Thank you, Michael. I appreciate that. And outstanding job on the EAFL, man. That thing has grown exactly as you said it would. And I know that I'm just a beautiful thing to watch, man. It really is. I don't know what that was, but they're going to call him down. He's just kind of on his way down, flipped it up. That was 4th down, and this will be Fort Pierce Bengal football, and they're going to take over. 1st and 10 at the 20 now. right inside the Big Trouble Loyalty Bail Bond red zone. And will we get a different quarterback, or will we get Antoine Edgecombe? Me, I think I'd sit Antoine here at this point. I really do. For next week, and make sure you check out the Fcfl page, and of course, Big Meech and the Fort Pierce Bengal Facebook page to see where they're going next week and who they're playing and all of that, and the AFL as well as their season winds down. I know our East Coast Sharks up in Brevard County needed a win tonight. Didn't get it over the Grizzlies out of Brunswick, Georgia tonight. But Eddie Dufresne has done a really nice job the first year with that program. 1st and 10. And it looks like the quarterback is going to be Sears or Mitchell here, one of the two. Looks like it's going to be Tommy Mitchell. Nope, or Sears. I won't know until the ball is snapped into one of their hands. Looks like it's Sears. Nope, Mitchell. Tommy Mitchell's our new quarterback. Mitchell drops back. He throws. Nice little swing pass there. And that's a violent hit to the face. Nice catch, hauled in by Fulton. 2nd and 1. Ball at the 11. Playing the Rise in Haines City, Florida. Thank you. Thank you very much. All right, so it'll be the Bengals and the Rise. Mitchell throws. Speedy Knowles. Incomplete. Speedy nearly had it. Tommy Mitchell says roll the clock. He's saying roll it. And we rolling it. And I like it. So we'll keep you abreast as to whether BSN will make that trip. Haines City a long way away for us. So I don't know that we will. But if we don't, I want to say thank you to all of you out there. It's been a terrific year for us here in the FCFL and, of course, the EAFL as well, and broadcasting the Fort Pierce Bengals and the East Coast Sharks. 2nd and 1. Mitchell, the quarterback. Turns, gives to Sears. Sears, quick step in. Turns, still on his feet. Does he get in? He does! Touchdown, Bengals. Ron Chavis Sears. And it's 34-0 with 9:23 to go. And the flag for the extra celebration on Sears. And Sears says, I don't care. I wanted that touchdown, and I got it. Nice run by Sears. One of the best first steps I've seen at this level. He's got a quick one. Let's show you Sears here. And there's the play chain. There you go. And we get you back to action here. Sears with the touchdown. And we got a new I think that's Mitchell in there. Yeah, it is. Mitchell going to roll, throws, and deflect it. So with 8:18 to go, and the clock's going to continue to run, as it should, it is 34-0. And the Bengals are moving on to the FCFL second round of the playoffs, and again, going to play the Haines City Rise. And I believe those two teams got together earlier this year. That game, I believe, would probably be on Rise Presents. They do a pretty good job with their broadcast. So we can pick up the feed and share it on Brevard Sports Network next week. We'll certainly do that for you fans out there. So they got together with the Bengals back on March 11th, and that was a 28-22 win right here. A game you saw on Brevard Sports Network that night. So just 6 points separated the Rise and the Bengals in that one. And if you want to watch that game, you most certainly can. You can go back on Brevard Sports Network and check it out. I'm sure both teams will. And Fort Pierce is kicking off from their own 20 following the excessive celebration penalties. And my goodness, Michael James, holy cow. Good Lord. Michael James put that one in the wind, and it went about 90 yards. Shoo. Everybody coming over and congratulating him on that kickoff. He kicked off from his own 20, and it's a touchback. Shoo. Justin Tucker going to be calling him. My God. Justin Tucker calling Michael James for advice. I'm sorry. Wilfredo Munez, Polk County, Rise. Get it right. Get it right. I tell you, people. 5:50 to go. $34-0. All right, 1st and 10. Looks like we got a new quarterback for Victor Rise. Victor Jones, I'm sorry. Like to see that clock run out. 34. I'm sure they all would out there. Oh, my. All right, guys. All right. There you go. That was number 44 on the carry, Marcus Comey. Tell you what. More I look at that comment. 1st and 10. Throws. That's intercept. What's the whistle for? Why would you blow the whistle? It's intercepted. I don't know why the whistle blew. $4:20 to go. Is that going to be an interception or what's going to happen here? Yeah, I think they're going to call pass interference on that. They did. .324 to go. The incomplete pass. 2nd and 10. So what a year for the Bengals. Coming back for the first year, having lost a number of former players that they have. There's a hold. And making it to the second round of the playoffs. I mean, kudos to Big Meech and the coaching staff for the job that they have done. And going to go in. Should be a really good football game next week against the Rise. Different teams, I'm sure, both of them, since the last time they got together back in the middle of March. 2:36 to go. .230 to go. And I know this defense wants to stop them and keep that shutout. Lofts it up. And short. .159, the final stoppage of the clock for the 2-minute warning. And I know Pompano Beach ready to hit the road. Because I am. Back up to Brevard County. Keep you posted and whether we'll see you next week. But again, I think the Rise got their own broadcasting network. Here we go. Pompano Beach season about to come to an end here, and really about to come to an end. Ball still out. Oh, my goodness. He is jacked up and dropped by Matthew. My goodness gracious. And that will probably do it. Goodness. We've seen some big hits tonight, and that is going to do it. They're going to just let the clock run out here. As we got an injured player on the field, but they're not going to stop the clock. And they will stop the clock. Once again, we'd like to thank all of the sponsors this year that made this broadcast possible here on Brevard Sports Network. There you see on your screen, Big Trouble Bail Bonds, Ole and Ole Attorneys at Law, McGallons LLC, the Installation Station, Hog Technologies, Cafe BB, City of Fort Pierce, hashtag Pool Boy Mafia, Affordable Fast Star Bonds, Law Offices of Philip Marucci, and the rest you see on your screen there. I want to thank Big Meech for allowing Brevard Sports Network to be the broadcasters of choice this year. And, of course, we'll talk to Big Meech about coming back next year. So this will wrap it up. I keep saying it, but is that when the next game is in 2 weeks? Here they go. Intercepted, and that'll do it. Tommy Mitchell may want to take this, and Tommy Mitchell with a pick six to seal the deal. Tommy Mitchell with a 75-yard pick six Bengal touchdown for the final points of the night, and that'll end it at 40-0. I'd run it. Yeah, he just said run it. Yeah, let it go. So that's going to wrap it up for sure as Tommy Mitchell puts an exclamation point on the night, and I don't even see them even attempting the extra point here, and why should they? It's 40-0, and the Bengals and the Rise will get together for the Fcfl South Division coming up, I guess, in 2 weeks here. And again, stay tuned to the Fort Pierce Bengals Facebook page and the Fcfl webpage for updates. So, for Big John Chandler, Big Meech, once again, we want to say happy heavenly birthday tonight to Ronnie Head Jones tonight as the big balloon release at
check
halftime.
this video out here. The Fort Pierce.
So, for Big Meech, I'm Alan Slaughter-Zinski. Your final score: the Fort Pierce Bengals 40, and the Pompano Beach Outlaws nothing. Have a great night, everybody.